Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the second part of History, Chapter 1, Sources of History. So, students, we have studied about the resources of history, which can be broadly classified as written sources, material sources, oral sources, and audio-visual sources. Out of these, we have started with written sources. We have studied how newspapers are a very important part of history. We have seen how history can be understood better by referring to the newspapers. Let us today learn about a news agency. So, we are talking about the Press Trust of India, commonly known as PTI. In newspapers, you must have noticed that below a particular headline or a heading, there is a mention of sources in small letters stating PTI, that is, Press Trust of India, among the other sources. So, Press Trust of India is one of India's oldest news agency. What exactly is a news agency? It is the job of a news agency to gather national and even international news and provide it to newspapers and publishers across the country. For example, let's take Indian Express. Now the question is, all the news published in Indian Express is a work of a journalist who works for this newspaper? How is it possible that the people associated with Indian Express are scattered across the nation and world at large to gather all the data? Just imagine how many people would be required then. And so, the Indian Express, the Hindustan Times, the Times of India, the Hindu, and many more papers collect information or news from a common source, that is PTI. So, PTI has its reporters or journalists across the country. They send the news or give updates to PTI. PTI then hands over this news to different newspapers. So, since 1953, it collects the news from different sources and sends it to the newspapers. It provides reports, photographs, and articles. Till 1990s, PTI used teleprinters to send news across, as it would not be possible to hand over the news manually. Post 1990, with the satellite communications coming up, PTI started using satellite broadcast instead of teleprinters for sending news to different parts of the country. So, students, we have learnt that newspapers and news agency play an important role. Hence, they become an important source of history. Also, we have publications from the Government of India. The government publishes periodicals, magazines, or even a book which contains a lot of authentic information. Now, the annual issues of Publications Division of the Government of India publishes different magazines in the form of annual book. For example, India 2000 was published by the Information and Broadcasting Department. Now, this book contained detailed information about India with respect to different fields. It is possible for us to write history with the help of such information. Next, we move on to the postage stamps. Sad to say, many of you must have not seen much of postage stamps. So, what are postage stamps used for? In the earlier days, when we used to write letters, these stamps used to be affixed on the letter. The postal department would issue stamps. They still do. However, the usage of stamps is considerably reduced. So, how are postage stamps a source of history? Postage stamps are small in size. Postage stamps are not sources where history is written, but sources rather where some important events are captured in the form of a picture. So, when we study these stamps, we come to know about the events that happened during a particular period. For example, in the year 1984-85, a postage stamp was issued with a picture of P.T. Usha. Now students, she was considered one of the best female athletes India has ever produced. She performed very well during the Olympics and just missed the bronze medal by a fraction of a second. So, acknowledging her dedication and performance, a postage stamp was issued. Postage stamps are of different sizes on different themes and color schemes. Now we have postage stamps on political leaders like Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, and many more. Then we have postage stamps on the national flower of India, lotus, or some rare species of flowers. Likewise, animals, birds, or events. For example, first Asian Games was hosted in India. Or Silver Jubilee, that is a period of 25 years. For example, India became republic in the year 1950, right? And in the year 1975, India had completed 25 years of being a republic country. So, on this account, Postal Department issued a stamp. So, it was on account of Silver Jubilee celebration of a republic nation. Thus, we see that the Postal Department issues stamps on the silver, golden, diamond jubilees or centenary, bicentenary, tercentenary of different events. Do you know, students, collecting stamps is a hobby? It is known as philately, and the person who collects stamps is known as philatelist. India had one such philatelist who made the art of collecting stamps very famous in India. He was Jal Cooper. Jal Cooper was a Parsi born and brought up in Mumbai. He edited India's Stamp Journal. He wrote in great depth about the stamps of India. He also did great study on international stamps. In order to create a platform for the philatelist, Jal Cooper founded the Philatelic Bureau of India. Now, that was an office which collected stamps. And also the Empire of India Philatelic Society. So he played a very important role in taking the study of Indian stamps to international level. In view of this, the government of India had asked the postal department to issue a stamp on Jal Cooper. So in the year 1977, the postal department issued a stamp on Jal Cooper costing rupees 10. So students, today we learnt that the PTI is a news agency which collects news and distributes it across the various news publishers. Government of India also issues or publishes magazines or written sources that are helpful in collecting data, for example, India 2000 book. Then we learnt that postage stamps, though small, if studied in detail, can give us a lot of information about history. The art of collecting stamps is philately, and how Jal Cooper became one of the best philatelists of India. Now students, read this section of textbook. We will continue the remaining part of the lesson in the next week. Thank you.